Good afternoon, Facebook. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Bashan here. I hope y'all having an amazing day. I hope you are enjoying and being productive in this kind of gloomy but pretty decent day. I've been working as usual and doing my thing, and I have a lot of time to sit around and think. And anybody that knows me, I am a deep introspective thinker. I'm always considering something, and then I consider that thought, and then I consider the thought that had that thought, and so on. So as I've been thinking, I've been scrolling. Like I'm that Lucy Lurker that I'm always talking about. You know Lucy Lurker. What's up, Brian? Lucy Lurker that's just on Facebook, might not be commenting, might not be engaged, but she's around. Yeah, I've been getting my Lucy Lurker on. I've just been noticing posts and statuses and such and seeing things, and I have to say something. I have to say something. And I hope you all will receive this in love, because I'm not coming for anybody. I'm not throwing shade. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. But this generation hates truth. And I'm going to tell you why. Truth doesn't always feel good. That's why I asked, do you want to feel good or do you want the truth? Everybody believes if you tell me something, it has to make me feel good. And if it doesn't make me feel good, I don't have to receive that. So there's a level of immaturity in that. If you cannot receive correction or rebuke, you're not ready for the next level. If no one can tell you anything about yourself, but you feel like you can tell everybody about themselves, you're not ready for the next level. And what I'm afraid of is we're seeing this generation of entitled young people that feel like I have a voice, I have a platform, I have an idea. You better give me my respect. I don't have to pay dues because I think my idea is better than yours. And I'm sorry, that is erroneous. You are in error. If you feel like you can go forward without paying dues, you have not done enough research, baby. You better look at what your ancestors had to do. You better look at what the generation before you had to do. You better look at what your parents had to do before you go out here feeling like I have an idea and I'm going to go forward with it. What's going to happen is, if you're not careful, that sense of entitlement is going to become a standard for the next generation. And if you're not careful, the next generation is going to repeat the things that you're doing, and it's only going to get worse. So somebody has to stand up and say, look, you have good ideas. You have good intentions. I love your zeal. I love your ideas. I love the things that you present. But you need to make sure that you are in order. A lot of these young people are not in order. And, I did some research and I was looking. Millennial age is age 18 to 34. 18 to 34. Now, I'm only 35. I'll be 36 this year. So I'm a little bit outside of millennial age. So I get it. I get the fact that you see things that are not working and you have good ideas and you're innovative and you can help people get to the next level. I get that thought. But I also get the generation that I'm in. It's called Generation X. That's the generation before the baby boomers. So that's 35 to 50. This generation is a little more seasoned. We were whooped as kids. We didn't get timeouts. We got time ups. Your parents could look at you from across the church and you already knew if I didn't get it together, I was going to get my life. Like, that's the generation I grew up in. Like, my mother didn't have to repeat herself. There was never any bargaining. She said it and that was it. So I don't know. I don't know where these new kids are coming from when their parents tell them something and they got something to say back. I'm 35 years old and I still fear my mother. And it's not fear as in I'm scared of her. I reverence her because of her position. And that is something that my generation, the generation before me rather, is not paying attention to. And it is something that they're forgetting. And it is something that's going to keep you in a place where you can't grow because you cannot receive correction and you cannot receive rebuke. So that's the first part. That's the first part. I told you I got something to say. So I hope you understand, to get to the next level, somebody's going to have to tell you you're wrong. Everybody's not going to agree with you. Everything is not going to make you feel good. So you have to get out of that line of thinking. That whole narcissistic, oh, woe is me. This is me and my struggle, my life. Yeah, get out of that. Grow up. So that's the first part. The second part, I'm seeing an influx of anti-church. I don't need church. I don't need anybody to tell me how to worship God. I don't need to be in congregations. I don't need to be plugged in. I don't need my pastor telling me what my gifts are. I know how God is using me. You're in error. You're in error. The scriptures say the oil flows from the head, goes to the beards, and then concentration is found at the hem. So if you are not connected to your head, sorry about that. I got a phone call. People call me during my lives. But you're going to miss something if you are not connected to a head. You can't be the head. People keep calling me, y'all. There's a head and there's a body, and you need to be connected to the head. Brian, stop it. You need to be connected to the head. You need to have somebody covering what you do. Every good idea is not a God idea. Every good thing that you think of, oh, I think I should possibly do that, needs to be presented to somebody that has a little spiritual maturity, somebody that's seasoned, somebody that can direct you one way or another, because what's happening is you're wasting a whole lot of time on good ideas and you're not doing what God is wanting you to do. I have journals, and when I tell you journals of good ideas, I got things that I want to do, I got places that I want to go, I got things that I want to accomplish, but I take it to my pastor first. Secondly, I take it to my accountability team. I have a team of people that are allowed to speak into my life. Now, hear me clearly. I have a team of people that are allowed to speak into my life. I don't welcome advice from everybody. I don't. If your advice has not been proven in time, and if your advice has not been proven in accurate, I'm trying to be nice here. If it has not been proven, I'm just going to say it like that. If your advice has not been proven, then I'm probably not going to be quick to accept it. I mean, you can have an opinion and that's great, but not everybody is allowed to say, you know what, I feel like I should be able to tell you this because of this. No. So there's certain people that are allowed to speak to certain areas of my life. And let me say it like that. Certain people that are allowed to speak to certain areas of my life. Everybody is just not allowed in that place. And that comes from a place of order. My pastor covers my ministry. My business is covered by my mother, and then I have an accountability team that keeps me grounded, because I am an ideals person. I always have good things that I want to do, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go out and do all these great things, and I always have people that are pulling me back. They're like, hold on, Vashawn, you're doing too much. Hold on, Vashawn, make sure you check your heart. Make sure that you're doing this out of a right place. And that is what our generation is missing. Everybody feels like they can become a CEO. They can go to Kentucky.gov, get their paperwork. They can go and make a logo, make a website, and then start in business and such, and they're just out of order. Especially with these ministries and such, this sudden influx of bishops and such. If you're 21 years old and a bishop, okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm just saying, all these apostles, how you're apostle of a congregation of 3. Yeah, y'all need to get this in order. Like, y'all need to stop, because what's happening is the younger generation is watching you, and they are mimicking everything that you're doing. And if you're out of order, right, Brian, if you're out of order, somebody's going to take that as gospel and they're going to follow your lead. My grandmother used to say, if there's a flaw in the material, if there's a flaw in the material, there's going to be a flaw in the dress. Meaning, if you have a flaw in the beginning, there's going to be a flaw in the end. So you need to check it from the beginning. So hopefully y'all hear what I'm saying in love. I'm not coming for anybody. I'm coming from a place where I was young and I had ideas, and I had to have people give me correction and rebuke, and it was hard to receive. It's hard to receive. Now, I'm going to tell you one more thing, and I'm going to jump up off here. The reason why I say certain people can speak into my life, there's certain people that God has spoke to about me, and I know that for a fact because they confirm that things that God tells me. So they're allowed to say things. They're allowed to give their opinions. They're allowed to give advice because God has placed them in my life. If you come to me and confirm something that God tells me, okay, we're on one accord. Like, I get it. You can't just come to me and think, oh, you know what? I have a good idea and I want to give you some advice about that. It's not in order. It's not in order. And actually, if you have advice to give to me, I suggest people go to my pastor, tell him, and then allow him to tell me, because he's allowed to speak into my life. Like, that's the way that goes. So hopefully y'all hear my heart on this thing. Not really coming for anybody, but this generation of, you can't tell me nothing. I can't be corrected. I can't be rebuked. Like, y'all need to stop this. Oh, I had one more thought, and I'm gonna leave this alone. I don't know why everybody feels like just because you're gifted, you don't have to work. I don't know why we feel like in the body of Christ, just because I have a gift, just because I have something that I really want to put all my focus on, that we don't have to take care of our natural responsibilities. We're seeing an influx of young people that say, I want to be in ministry full time, but they're not taking care of their bills, and they're leaning on the saints and borrowing money and doing all kinds of other things in the name of Jesus so they can do what God has called them to do. And I just really want to warn you that is very, very dangerous. That is very, very dangerous, because what you sow as a servant, you're going to reap as a leader. And if you cannot serve, you cannot lead. So meaning, if you can't work, you can't be a boss. I'm sorry. If you can't go in and put some hours in somewhere and sit up under somebody for some time, how are you going to tell somebody else to sit up under you and give them their time? Like, it doesn't work like that, baby. Listen, my pastor is trivocational. My pastor has 3 jobs. My mother is bivocational. She has 2 jobs. Both of them have been in ministry over 30 years, and they are in ministry full time and have full-time jobs. So it's possible. It's possible. I have things that I want to do. I want to travel the U.S. with this book. I want to write more books. I want to publish more people. I want to do great things and exploits in the kingdom. But guess what? I got a car payment. You hear me? I got a house note. I have children. I don't get food stamps. I got to pay for groceries myself. That light bill depends on me, and I need to go and clock in and make sure I got enough money to take care of myself and my children, because they are my responsibility. These are my children, my household, my responsibility. So if you have responsibilities, it is your responsibility to take care of them. I don't care how gifted you are. I don't care how God is using you. God is going to use you at home first before he uses you in the kingdom. And if you don't feel like that, you need to get in your word, and you really need to get it together. So, yeah, I'm going to leave you alone. I'm going to leave you alone. See, you millennials, if you sit around all day, I can't get a job because they don't use my gifts. If you don't get that paycheck and build a bridge and get over yourself, you got bills. Mama can't spend your money all the time. It's not fair. She's raised you, so now you need to be grown. So guys, that's it. I have something to say, and I said it. Hopefully y'all receive everything that I said in love. I'm not coming for anybody, but somebody needs to tell you the truth. So I'll go ahead and give you a give you a rundown on what I said. First and foremost, if you can't receive correction, exactly, Minister Carly, they feel entitled. If you can't receive correction or rebuke, you're not ready for the next level. If no one can tell you anything about yourself, no one that is in a position above you, millennial, Generation X, and the baby boomers, they know a little bit more than you because they've been walking around with God a little bit longer than you have. If no one can tell you anything, you're out of order. You're not going to be successful. Secondly, you need to work. The man don't work, don't eat. Y'all know what the word says. Third, this entitlement spirit, this feeling of no one can tell me anything. Y'all need to stop all that. And then lastly, make sure you work. I'm sorry. I know you're gifted, but you still have bills. You hear me? I hope y'all having an amazing day. I'm about to take my own advice. It's time for me to get to work because I have bills. I will talk to y'all soon. Be blessed. Take care. Peace.